professionalinvestor.com's daily brief. The answer to your question is learn the goddamn process, trade your trading plans, don't take too much risk on any one trade, and just let yourself get rich. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to the insanity. It's Monday morning, TGIM. I don't know, maybe yes, maybe no. June 5th. Oh boy. Now we're headlong into the summer doldrums here, folks. So get used to it. And of course, if I understand correctly, some pretty big bombshells were dropped in crypto land today. Dun dun dun. I suppose we can talk about that in a bit. Got to give a shout out to the breadth indicator. Breadth told us to be on the sidelines. I missed a really good long trade there. I guess about a week or two ago, and then the algo flipped bearish, so we were supposed to be on the sidelines, and I still never got back on the long side. Now the market's coming off here hard. So happy Monday morning to everybody. Actually, surprisingly enough, I was extremely busy this morning. I had a horrible night's sleep last night. I don't know why the hell I did it. Just dumb as dumb. But I did go to sleep like fairly early yesterday morning. So, or yesterday night. It was so early. It was still morning. No. Now I came back from Liam, and of course, thank you very much for all your well wishes. Liam had a pretty good day yesterday. So, if anything, probably good that you guys all have karmic best wishes for us. So we have a good afternoon. And then, actually I saw the market was kind of wishy-washy and I just sort of crashed. Like I went to bed really early last night, but like a stupid idiot, I didn't eat any dinner. And then I got up and had a muffin and I had heartburn like all night long. And it was just a fucking nightmare. So got to take better care of myself. If anything, daily checklist. I was a little bit tardy getting up this morning. I missed the opening range trades with Chris, but you got to log and track this stuff. The only way you can even really address how things are going in life is if you keep a log. And you can see I was my note was, how was your sleep? Terrible. Anyway, full of piss and vinegar here this morning, but I had just a horrible, okay, I won't get into it. This is supposed to be a 30-minute market show. Sorry, everyone. Anyway, and Nore, I still have your prescription on the docket, although this isn't medical advice. So I am working away on it. It's just, honestly, you set yourself up for failure. And in a weird sort of way, keeping track of things like your diet and your sleep schedule and exercise schedule and stuff like that. Believe it or not, actually, it's a really good way to sort of judge whether you're actually setting yourself up for success in life. And that directly translates into trading. In fact, before I do any trades whatsoever, every single day, I have to go through a very specific process. And I was actually quite pleased this morning. I went through the process, even though I did wake up a bit late. Still did my analysis. I saw that there was a very interesting setup that presented itself in crude oil. Just to give you an idea, I like to start every day with just checking out the 4-hour charts and are we in trade location. And we've been talking about these bull ABCDs take us up into fog and bombs. So this was definitely a level I was very, very interested in. And first thing this morning, I didn't actually grab the screenshot. This is the one failing with TradingView, is if you don't grab the screenshot in real time, when you go back, it's almost impossible to replicate the candle. But anyway, when I was first up and when I was looking at the market and deciding trade location, I actually had a bunch of horizontal support and resistance. I had 4.669. I had this ABCD. So I was like, all right, if the lower time frames do set up a trade, let's get serious. And interestingly enough, that's exactly what happened. 3-minute L Tangonator. And I love these L Tangonators because it's just, the secret to this is you got to be at a 4-hour trade location. If you're at a 4-hour trade location, these things just work killer. So here you can see the crude oil market marching its way higher in the overnight trade. And this is a really good. And if anything, for the current level oneers who are watching today's broadcast, this is I don't know where the level oneers are. I think they're actually just doing introduction to technical analysis. Probably take a screenshot of this because in about 3 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to be doing volume analysis. And we always say that volume signals are way more powerful than any kind of price momentum signals. And this was a really good example of a bearish OBV divergence. You can see the market pushing to new highs, and yet there are no buyers. Where the hell are the buyers? All the dominance is by the red candles here. So anyway, point of the matter here is L Tangonator, which you learn in the level 1 program. Willie stupidly overbought. MACD confirmed bear divergence. Really, all I'm looking for is, can I please get some sort of M in price? Only did one contract on this trade. Actually, that sucks. I didn't have the actual trade notation on here. Just so you guys, there's some people that are actually like, well, I don't think you took the trade. I think you're just lying to us. So I like to make sure that when I show you these, you can actually see the trade notations. And there we are there. So just for posterity, there is the actual trade level, 73.41. In this case, because it was Monday and I only did one contract, I have a rule on Mondays and Fridays. I don't want to blow up my week to start out of the gate, and I don't want to end the week on a really horrific note. So I only give myself permission to do one lots on Mondays. Really pretty simple 2.618 Foggenbaum level. I suppose I could have reached for 4669 if I had maybe a couple of contracts on the trade. I might have shot for that extended profit level. But here I was just happy as soon as we hit that 2.618, ring the register, ding, 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 ding. Great way to start the week, feeling nice and positive and firing on all cylinders. Yay! It's process goals, right? This is all about process goals. Find the 4-hour levels, right? And, as you can see, we had some notations here about 4-hour levels, then drill down to your lower time frames and hunt those bear divs, right? So location, indicator confirmation, price structure, go. It's just that simple, folks. And if anything, maybe that would be a really good short. How can I stretch that out into 1 minute or 30 seconds? Location, indicator confirm. All right. I can see Chris going, okay, shut the hell up.
30 seconds goes by a lot quicker than you would expect. So I think we're good on that.
Anyway, so started the week out on a pretty good note. Stock market was a little bit wonky here today. You can see, and I think we're trapped in this, and I have a funny feeling this is going to go on for quite a while, where ES, sort of representative of the entire market, and actually probably a better place to show you this is our little stock section. Here we are. So yeah, what a surprise. I mean, I think this is going to be the hallmark of our lives for the next while. So old economy, bank stocks, brick and mortar, where Brian buys his boxer briefs, all that kind of stuff, retail, right? They're not doing that hot. They're not really that happy. And why? Well, the econs coming out today, really, they're not anything to really write home about. And where the heck do I have that page? Is that over here? Our start of the day. Always good to keep an eye. And there aren't that many econs for this week. So the econs that have come out are actually pretty thin. But one of the big econs, and probably the only major econ for this week, U.S. services growth slows sharply. So ISM services PMI fell to 50.3. I suppose 50.3, that is above 50, and that's supposed to be your magic line growth regression or contraction. From 51.9 in April, growth slows sharply. I don't know whether I'd call that sharply. I mean, hell, that's about what, 2%. It's not even really that big of a number. So that's a little surprising. Obviously, somebody who is juicing the news really wants to inject a lot of uncertainty, and let's see if we can get some volatility in here. Somebody was encouraged to add the sharply word in here, I think. I don't know. So oil prices, of course, I showed you that killer day trade right out of the gate this morning. That was an awful treat. Um, Dow, old economy, it's going to be a bit of a slog, especially if the services sector is contracting. That's a lot of the employment in our society now because, North America, we kind of got rid of all our manufacturing. And I suppose the manufacturing that is going to come back is probably going to go straight to Mexico. But, that's like restaurants, senior citizens, old age home services, all that kind of stuff, restaurants, wait staff and stuff. Yeah, that's that old economy stuff, right? So, yeah, Dow's not going to be overly happy. But at the same time, damn tech stocks and NASDAQ going crazy. And I thought it was interesting that when I looked at some of the darlings, this is the one that I mentioned in the newsletter yesterday, and I don't really think that this is a good place to put on this trade. And the point that I really wanted to drive home yesterday was this is coming into profit objectives. It might even get a little bit crazy here, up 1% on the day. And we could do something like just look at FinViz. And maybe one day TRI will have this real time, but whoop, now what the hell have I done here? What the hell is all this? Jesus. What the heck did I type in there? FinViz. Well, that's weird. I don't know how the hell I got into all that crap. Yeah, so here we go. Dow's down 1/8%. NASDAQ's up 0.5%. I mean, to all intents and purposes, that's actually a nothing day. But we're gonna probably see this. The culprits, Apple, Microsoft. Actually, interesting. Semiconductors are calming down here a bit. Amazon, Tesla, Google. Interesting how they have them all spaced out now. Wonder if they did that on purpose. Because I really, these should all be clustered together. But I think if anything, these guys probably are kind of like, well, it's getting to the point where all of these are all clustered together and it just looks like it's one part of the market versus another part of the market, which it really is. So here's your old brick and mortar. And I mean, look at energy. Look at the actual weight in the S&P 500 of the energy sector. It would be interesting to do like a screen share comparison of the economy, because keep in mind, this is like literally a breakdown of what the economy actually looks like. And you can clearly see, look at the size of technology. And really, I might argue Amazon and Tesla are technology and Google's technology and Meta is. So, like, literally, the North American economy, for whatever it's worth, is like, geez, what, probably half of our society is now tech related. And look how small energy is now. That's remarkable, eh? Anyway, sign of the times. So I guess the point I'm trying to make here is that this K-shaped economy that people talk about. You're going to have one part of the economy heading in one direction and another part of the economy heading in a different direction, and they're literally going to be split in two. Where anybody that's sort of technology related, and we did find it funny, Chris. Of course, when we get to crypto, the news, of course, is all about this guy. But it's fascinating that Chris was even telling me, and if you have a news release to that effect, I'd appreciate it. But he was saying that even now, CZ's already taken like 100 some odd $1 million and transferred it to a wallet to pay whatever fine the SEC decides that they're going to levy against him. So he's already budgeted for the hit. So that if there ever was a really good example, I guess. I don't know if that's the right word, but we'll go with example of this K-shaped economy and how, we like literally are having robber barons created within the tech space, and $100 million CC shits that for breakfast. In fact, I don't even think he's allowed to snort cocaine without the bill having at least $100 million on the face of it, right? I don't know, bad joke. I don't know. Anyway, so the point of the matter here is, and this was my proxy in the tech space. And I tried to talk to you guys about this in the Broiler Chicken show yesterday. I think this is an excellent proxy on that part of the market. It looks like it's still pointing up. I wouldn't get in front of that. There is no sell signals anywhere in sight there. But if you look at the broader market, like, I don't know, we could even probably even just type in the Dow. I'm gonna be curious just to see what a Dow daily chart looks like. It's so out of touch that I can't even vision what a daily Dow chart even looks like. Yeah, so interesting. The Dow is just up against a world of resistance here. So every time we get up into this reload zone, it just keeps getting knocked back down, knocked back down, knocked back down. And I hate to say it, the stocks that do make up the Dow, they are a big portion of them are surrounded all around this sort of services economy, which of course technology doesn't give a crap about. So there you go. Chris, were you able to find? Oh, did you post that in there? Hey, there's Eddie. Hey, Eddie. And how does our expression go with Eddie? Chris actually nailed it in Portugal.
That's Eddie.
Anyway, nice to see you, Eddie. Did you find any, because and I'll ask you after the show we're done. I wouldn't mind retweeting that out if there was some sort of actual sort of news about that. All right, thanks, man. Okay, so we covered econs. Econs, and like if we just actually look at the actual calendar, you can see, I mean, we really don't have a hell of a lot to chew on here. There's the sort of ISM services, factory orders. Interesting how, ironically enough, if we actually were tracking Mexican factory orders, I bet you that number would be up quite a bit. ISM services employment. So this is, restaurant workers, bartenders, old age home workers, healthcare workers, all that kind of stuff. It actually ticked down. So Chair Powell's getting what he wants. He is killing the old economy. Maybe that's part of this whole great reset plan is you will own nothing. You will have no jobs. Robots will have your jobs. In fact, actually, we had a special guest on Friday, Effie, and he's telling me he's by trade, he's actually in the architecture industry. And he doesn't even really need lawyers anymore, which is incredible to hear. And he's saying that his assistant now goes and gets all of their legal drafts, all their legal documents, everything all done by ChatGPT stuff. That the lawyer industry better watch out. They might be put out of business here very quickly. So there's a bit of a shocker, eh? Lawyers, we used to always call them liars because they're basically paid to lie. But anyway, if the glove don't fit, you must quit. Everybody remembers that. So on balance, like if we actually look at like significant news, you got, we do have a PMI coming out of my country, but it's not really that relevant. Balance of trade on Wednesday, nah. Canadian jobs numbers there later on in the week, but that's it. I mean, basically nothing, right? So I get the feeling that it's going to be a pretty light news week. Anyway, supposed to comment on the news and the econs, and as I said, econs looking a little bit sketchy. If anything, I don't know whether we really have much more left in earnings to ponder. I thought I had FinViz up here. I guess maybe it's a different page. Where was that? Is that over here? Yeah. So who do we have on the docket coming up here? Yeah. I mean, during earnings season, this is just blitzed with names. I don't even think I even recognize any of these guys. Who's this guy? China Data Group Holdings? I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, so these names don't even really ring a bell with me here. So we have a lack of macroeconomic drivers. We're out of earnings season here. This week, I got a funny feeling is all about let's see if we can F around with the public and F around with the kids in the market, see if we can steal some free money. And I hate to say it, but in the stock market this morning, that's exactly what I saw. I saw the market running up like this, and that's not sustainable move. So what do they do? In like one fell swoop, boom, they just slam all the kids that bought, and they're sitting on huge paper losses, and they better cover or else all hell's going to break loose. Suppose you could argue this tail came right back down into this market structure. So what's a appropriate thing to do? Let's go run it up to new highs and run all the stops out of people that shorted the top here. All right, we got rid of them. Now let's go run the lows here. I mean, like literally, this is the definition of an FU market, right? Lack of news, few econs, just run the stops, run the stops. I suppose you could argue there's a bit of a bottom that finally came in, which kind of makes sense because it was against the overnight lows. But interesting how these lows here ran all of these stops out here. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised they took the market like probably one tick lower than this low. What is this? 42.86, and the low here was 42.85 and 3/4. Oh, the bastards. So, this to me is screaming lack of news, lack of econs. Wall Street's got to get paid. Let's go screw with the kids. So be very careful with these markets, folks. And, FYI, no divs for me to work with here. Got no business touching this, and I haven't. Just leave it alone. Even now, I mean, I suppose no, I just don't have anything to work with here. So I won't be doing anything in the stock market here. Actually, one market that did catch my attention first thing this morning, the gold market actually was coming into levels, but I was preoccupied. And actually, it's interesting. I shorted crude, and this is a good example where crude and gold usually move in opposites. So I remember I was showing you earlier how crude was up top against a whole bunch of resistance levels on the 4-hour chart. So I was thinking short. So here we are, first thing this morning, we actually came right down into a 4669. You can see that I even wrote candle body lows for trade location. Didn't really get a play against horizontal support and resistance. So I only had one reason to justify taking a trade. It's a great testament of the power of 4.669, eh? And I suppose you could argue coming back down into this bottom here, it makes sense that there would be some buyers. But if anything, what I'm trying to say here, really, really good example of how crude tops out and gets exhausted, and usually at the same time, gold will bottom and rally. And also, too, on top of the fact that this is a great, analogy of 4669, this is also a really good analogy of how 2.618, can you see how the market is basically range bound right now, just between those two chaos levels? And I see that happen all the time. So great, great learning material here. If anybody's actually here to try and learn, man, that's gold right there. Take a screenshot of that, write some notes, journal, log, diarize the whole thing. All right. We'll finish off this free broadcast. Got maybe 5-10 minutes left here, of course, with a boo at the corn. It was interesting that on the weekly charts, we kind of even mentioned this yesterday in the broiler chicken show. These charts, this looks just disastrous. Really, really bad looking price action here. Great testament. This is a key component that I teach in my education programs. Yes, I like using MACD, but have you ever seen anybody in the public use MACD like this? You probably wouldn't even know that that was a MACD study. But beautiful. And this is one reason why I absolutely love using MACD. And this happens to be the histogram. And of course, yes, we teach this in our education programs. But this is a really good way to measure sort of the internal oomph of the market, the momentum. Then, of course, I like to use this heavily modified Williams percentage R indicator as my tool to measure overbought and oversold. And over here on the left, we have the crypto total market cap, and on the right, we have Bitcoin. And you can see, interesting enough, there is an officially overbought reading out of Bitcoin's Willie. And of course, we have both these MACD histograms looking just extremely bearish. So the backdrop was a little bit tough. Now, I had put out tweets recently, and I'll go and find them and retweet it after I'm done this video, saying that, we banged into two very powerful moving average, especially off the weekly chart. And I figured that this was just going to be an absolute brick wall of support. And I also put out a tweet about 2 or 3 weeks ago saying, because this is so much support, especially on Bitcoin, the way that we have both of these moving averages clustered right here, we were going to need to see some really, really negative news. Somebody was going to have to really get just absolute drive the fear of God into crypto to actually get the market to punch through there. And if we just never got the news, then it was just never going to happen. So BD says, seriously, don't even know how much Brian is, but I'm in one day. Yes. Okay. Sounds good. I think I hope that was a compliment. If it was an insult, then go screw yourself. But I think it was a compliment, so thank you. Anyway, the point of the matter here is, guess what happened today? Well, Mr. Dickhead finally dropped the bomb on CZ. Oh, cool. Well, you better. Okay, cool, B. Maybe pop on the site, do the 30-day trial. You don't have to pay anything. I think it's like maybe $1 or something. And then come and hang out in the after party and let's chat a little bit. And of course, Meg over there on YouTube. She's, if anything, I absolutely love Meg and Casey, because they're sort of like the absolute perfect poster child. What person am I actually trying to speak to when I do all of this crap here at TRI and social media and all that? Who are the people I'm actually trying to reach? And they are Meg. Meg and Casey are the people I'm trying to reach in this world. I mean, no offense, but I'm never going to get through to a guy like this. And, like Alan, he always goes, well, I'm all in on any idea that I ever do. And frankly speaking, from a financial planning perspective, that's actually really dangerous. And go ask, a lot of people. Oh, geez, I go off on another tangent here. I'm going to leave the conversation at that. So come on the site, do the 30-day trial, get to know us a little bit. The next term doesn't officially start till September, B. So you got a bit of time to get to know us a little bit, and we'd love to have you as part of the team. Okay, so point of the matter here is this bombshell was sort of floating out there for quite a while. People kind of knew that things were going to be a little bit sketchy. And is this the tail wags the dog, or is this the dog wags the tail? As somebody started pointing out, this dump brings some names into RLZ. So, we've talked lots about how we can't really buy way up here. You can see where my reload zone is. If I wanted to buy Bitcoins, I would buy down here, but I can't buy up there. And as Andre is saying there are a lot of names. Like, I'm not allowed to go and buy this Come Inu up here. I mean, it's fun to watch. And of course, if it doubles again, we can always sell more, but I'm not allowed to buy there. And actually, interestingly enough, I actually did some buying in crypto today. I picked up a little bit of this guy. I mean, look at this chart. And I've been wanting to get in on this thing for quite a while. And good gentleman, actually, gentleman who referred Chris to TRI, Mr. Sticks, I think we have to call him, or Mr. Zug. It's one of the two. Anyway, Eddie found his crop. So for FYI, Eddie asked, turns out Zugi is the name is derived from crop. So go figure. Anyway, I mean, that doesn't really look like anything to you guys, but to me, oh boy, I was super excited. I mean, look at that chart. This is versus USD. So I had to go and buy it in DeFi land. So I had to pay up a bit, ETH fees and all that crap. But you tell me, is there any, like, I bought this thing at like $3. Is there any chance this thing trades back to $6? This is one of the names that Chico Crypto, he really likes this one, Tyler. So, and when I bought this, what I just basically said was, um, I'll see you at $10. That's where I'm probably going to be doing some selling. I showed you chaos off of the crude oil market and the gold market. I mean, I don't need to shill. But anyway, the point being that I'm spending 2023 just accumulating, buying everything. And not a big surprise. Everything's down here, and it's probably going to look pretty ugly. But in a weird sort of way, actually, this is going to do nothing more than just bring prices back down into buying windows so I can buy some more. And one in particular that I really do want to get in on, it probably is up on the day, but let's see what happens. This rend. So yeah, okay, so this makes perfect sense. Who can tell me? Don't overthink this, folks. What are we supposed to think if we ever see the market smiling at us? Uh-oh. I'll make it even easier. What happens if you see M's in price? Is that bullish or bearish? So, I've been encouraging people. I really like this name. I think it's good fundamentals, but technically that's horrible. I don't want to pay up here. But yeah, and this is where you have to learn how to be patient and disciplined. And you just simply have to wait. And, if it FUD because CZ is going to have a fight with Gary Gensler, that would be an interesting boxing match, eh? Well, so be it. I don't care. There is my reload zone. So you can see exactly where I am allowed to buy. And what a surprise. I don't have it on here. Anyway, the BFF, right? Brian's big fat ass. No, wait a minute, that's not how it goes. Brian something. Anyway, you can see. Actually, I got the wrong chart line on here. You can see exactly where it is, and really, this makes perfect sense. Basically, I'm going to be buying against lows and selling against highs. So I don't really think that this is shocking. And what I would suggest is if you are interested in a name like this, get your bids working now. The one thing that did surprise me a little bit about this market, to be honest with you, is I didn't really expect us to fall apart here right away. You remember yesterday, and I think I did this in the video. Chris, did we talk about the RSI study in the broiler chicken show yesterday? This right here? Yeah, so we did give everybody a heads up, and I said, watch whether this M confirms. If it does, uh-oh. Like, did we talked about that, didn't we? I think I remember we talked. Eddie, can you remember that?
We did.
So
Yep.
anyway, Eddie's here with me, Chris is here with me, and I'm just asking them. Maybe you people on YouTube, anybody that watched the broiler chicken show yesterday. Now we have an M and then a bigger M. And this is the second M, which is yellow. That's actually a sell signal. Oh, Jesus H. Christ. So put it all together. I was kind of thinking that, here is the FOMC event. I thought that they were going to take the market up into the FOMC and then dump it on the other side. And sorry, Pally, not even remotely close to that. Yeah, so that's your opinion. And if anything, like I said, my opinion was rally into the Fed, fail on the other side, and my opinion was wrong. But that doesn't mean that the trade setups are working or not working. I always keep hitting that damn button. How do I get out of this one? There we go. Okay, so I'll finish off the video with this, folks. So this is a setup that we teach you in the level 1 program. The 3-step setup. I want trade location. This was a beautiful Foggenbaum level. This was also 38.2s. This was against original horizontal support and resistance. Lots of reasons for trade location. Then we look down at our indicators, indicator confirmation, like the saying says, and all of the site members know full well, Brian loves those double Ds. So we got indicator confirmation. The only thing that was missing as of this point was we needed price structure, some sort of M. There's your big fat M, right? Again, just like I told you with the Rend, what are we supposed to think if you ever see the market smiling at you? So there's your big smile. And this has been a grinder. Make no mistake, it's been a pain in the butt. But I would make the argument that us breaking to a new low here means this is just further validation. Lower highs and lower lows defines a bear market. We took out these lows. I don't think that that's a good place to be selling. You should have been selling against the original market structure top. But at the same time, too, it's just a further validation of this trend. The interesting thing is this entire time I had to sit here in this trade and just simply say, I don't know what's going to happen. My stop has to be at new highs, and I just do nothing. Now, at least, hopefully, when I hit this 50% level, I can at that point have official permission to go and move my stop to scratch. So finally, I can do something here. It hasn't happened yet. I mean, this market might come right back up and spend another couple weeks just messing around here. But the bottom line here is this is a really, really good analogy of you trade your setups, take this setup as it comes in. If you vetted it, if you know that it works 2/3 of the time, which, these 3-step setup works at least that, then you just got to take the setup and live with the results. And, your opinion doesn't mean jack shit in this world. I mean, that's the irony of all of this. Opinions are worthless. Setups, like the 3-step setup, are priceless. All right. I think that's an excellent note to end this video on. Have yourselves a great day. We'll go and have some fun in the after party now. Chris has got a whole bunch of topics that I need to review. So PMA for the win. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't take no wooden nickels. Remember what your number one job is. All the best and bye for now.